Hey guys, Offline Gamer here today. Today I'm bringing you a game that back in July I saw online on Kickstarter, decided, hey, you know what, that sounds like an interesting game, decided to kickstart it because it had a pretty good price on it. It was 20 bucks, so it wasn't too bad. And I just received it a few days ago, played it, and I wanted to come out with a review. The review itself, it's for Harbour, released by Tasty Minstrel Games, designed by Scott Almes. It is a light worker placement game where you're taking a little Harbour meeple and placing them around to different buildings to perform actions. And in doing so, you're going to get goods that you can ship to get money to buy buildings. And basically the goal of the game is to be the first person to get to buy 4 buildings. And then you're basically going to have some victory points based on the buildings that you buy. Whoever has the most victory points at the end of that is the winner. Let's take a look at how the game itself plays, and we'll come back here, get my final thoughts on the game. Alrighty guys, here you can see I have a 2-player game setup of Harbour. These are the starting buildings that they have for it, as well as the buildings that you have based on your character. I set it up as the wharfs, which is the base character that you can play on anyone, but as you can see, they all look the same on one side, but then you have the different character cards that you can see here. Depending on which one you choose, you have different abilities and things like that. So, when you set up the cards, the buildings that you have initially, what you do is you're going to set up 3 cards plus 1 for each player that you have. So in a 2-player game, as you can see here, I have 5 buildings set out. And what you do is, on your player board, you have the different types of goods. So there's fish, there's beef, there is stone, and there is wood. Now, you randomly select the market pricing on them. So for the wood right now, you need to at least have 2 to sell, and that'll give you 2 silver, 2 money. The fish, you need to have at least 3 or more, and you get 3 money. Cattle right now is you need 4 more, you get 4 money. And the stone, you need 5 or more, and you get 5 money. So if you look on the upper right-hand corners of all the buildings, they are going to have, and I'll show you on one kind of here, they'll have a value as far as money-wise. They'll also have a little star amount, which is how much victory points they're worth at the end of the game. So on your turn, what you're going to do is you're going to sit there and take your little meeple that you have here, which looks like a little Harbour guy, and you're going to place him on one of the buildings and perform the action. So let's say if I go here to the Traders Guild, I basically will move my wood up 1, and then I will get to swap 2 market places. So I can take, let's say, the wood and the beef and swap them around, and that is my turn. So then the next character can sit there and, let's say, go to the canal or whatever and perform that action. Now, as you go buying the buildings, each ones have different symbols on them. Like this one has a little like money symbol, one has like anchors, there's like a little top hat. What those represent is the type of building that they are. There are some building tiles that you get that will give you bonuses based on how many of a certain type of symbol that you have for them. So like there's some that, like the fishing market, will sit there and give you based on, like, you know, how many little anchors you have. Like the lighthouse, it'll tell you it gain a different type of good per anchor that you have, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of neat in how you do that. Like again, the artwork on these guys is amazing. Let me see if I can get it to focus a bit on here for you. But the artwork is amazing, how they did it. Really, really well done. You do this until either the 4 buildings, the first person gets 4 buildings built in front of them. Now what's really neat is, let's say if this player buys the bank, and you flip over the next building, and then the green player wants to sit there and utilize the bank that this player has built, he can go there and use the building. He just has to pay 1 good to the player that owns the building. So just because one character buys a building doesn't mean it's completely out of play, which is kind of neat. What I really like also with the game itself is it actually gives you like a little card, which is like the winner's card. It says Harbour Master on the top are on it. And it actually tells you on it, which is kind of neat, and it's something that Tasty Minstrel Games does. It tells you, you're as an added bonus for winning the game, the creature in the harbor throws you the key to the city. Hold up the Harbour Master card, take a selfie with it, and announce your victory on social media. You've earned this victory lap. Until you are dethroned, the Harbour Master card sits with you during play. And then it basically gives the social accounts to go ahead and send your photos for when you win onto it. It's funny because on my Twitter feed I've actually seen plenty of people that have actually played and taken a picture with it and then tweeted it out. So it's kind of neat. I mean, you could see how many different cards they give you. I mean, granted, this is with the Kickstarter bonus cards things, but it's still, I mean, those were only about 4 or 5, and look at how many different ones they have for the player. So, I mean, you have a ton of different ones that you can get. But all in all, that's how the game plays. There you got Harbour from Tasty Minstrel Games. For me, let's go component-wise. I really like the fact that they did the little meeples shaped like the little Harbour Masters. I gotta admit, I mean, it's a small little game. It's a great filler game. It's only $20. It's quick, simple rules, like you guys saw. And it's entertaining, which in the end is what's really great. Now, I have the Kickstarter edition, which has a couple of additional roles that you don't get in the retail version of the game, which adds a little bit more variety to the game. It was kind of like one of those things that made me also want to get it as well, because that's some of the good thing of Kickstarter is you will get stuff that is exclusive to it. Although sometimes when you see some of the Kickstarter stuff as opposed to what comes out retail, it kind of like makes you wish, I should have Kickstarted it and stuff like that. So this was something that I definitely liked it. I mean, I like the fact that it's a tiny little box. When I was getting the updates from the Kickstarter, when they showed the boxes in the main box, they looked so much bigger, and until I got it in my hand, I didn't realize how small the game itself was. But it's entertaining. I mean, I really like the fact that you can sit there and go around. I love the fact that you can either start with the individual character cards or everybody can play the same, like when you're learning the game, which makes it really, really good. I like the fact that it is, like, the market changes as people go shipping goods, so it changes a person's strategy. Like, you may have some goods that you're holding on to that you may want to ship, let's say, but then you notice somebody else is trying to do that to buy another building, so you may ship your stuff just to get the money to buy a building that you may not necessarily want, but just to do it so that it changes the whole pricing of the marketplace itself. The artwork on the game is great. I mean, it's cartoony. The artist that they got for this did a phenomenal job, I think. And it's kind of neat to see the characters that they did make that kind of look like characters, that they resemble other characters from different things, like the King of the Hill, the neighbor, that looks like Hank Hill, and things like that. I thought it was really great how they did it, really innovative. It's something that's like really fun to play. I mean, I can definitely see playing this like when you're going through like longer gaming sessions and all that, and you want to actually something to like just kind of break the mood, make it basically rest your brain type of thing. But it is like deep enough that it has a good bit of strategy to it that if you want to sit there and really strategize about what you want to do, you can. So, I mean, I really like it. I mean, I'll give it a 8 out of 10, 2 thumbs up. I mean, if it's something that, looking at this review, that it interests you, go ahead and pick it up. I mean, it's a definite buy. I mean, I kickstarted it and I liked it, so it's one of those things. And I mean, I honestly think at the $20, it's a great price point for a game. And something that's really entertaining. So, I mean, if you do like it or whatever, it seems interesting, go out and, as soon as it becomes available in retailers, pick yourself up a copy. It is really fun. I definitely give it. Alright, guys, and as I always say, get out there and game. Take care.